Welcome back to Everyone is the Asshole with Adrian and Amy.
Hi.
Hey, I'm starting to worry
Yeah, tell me.
about old Mitchie McConnell.
I mean, at this point, like, the jig is up, right? I mean, we all just know, don't we? And
Oh,
is the purpose of this so that Thomas Massey can't run
yeah, they're just cheating. Just cheating.
a pool of life? And none of this AI generated bullshit. And I don't trust Scott Jennings as far as I can toss him. If he speaks in person to Zoran Mamdani, then I will believe it.
Or Hassan. The fact
Or
that Scott
Hassan.
didn't go into hiding, I mean, I would, but
Yeah, like, aren't you humiliated? Okay, but also,
never.
how epic and amazing would it be if, like, Mitch McConnell got rolled into Hassan's studio?
We're really trying to, like, spread his reach, you know?
Yeah, he's increasing his
Introduce him to
audience.
some different types of people. He's got years. It honestly wouldn't surprise me if we found out, because we will find all of this out at some point. That's the only thing keeping me going, is like in 10 years is gonna be a ton of just epic documentaries that
I
are
can't
just,
wait for that.
it's good.
I mean, I hope so, right?
We
Like,
deserve it. We
I
deserve
hope
that.
so. That would be a good outcome based
Unless
on where we are
Prager,
right now.
if PragerU takes over, like
God,
it'll be like
no.
2026 was one of the best years we've ever
Jesus
had. This
Christ.
is when America was really its hottest.
He says that so many times. He says it so often. We're the hottest country. The hottest country. Like, what does that mean?
I don't really pay attention to him
Yeah.
unless it's, headline, he's gone. That's what I'm waiting for. But as we can see with
Like,
old Mitchie McConnell, they'll just, hide him and it won't tell us forever.
what a piece of actual shit, you know? And the waddle, that's like, I feel like it's such a part of him that it'll be in the history books, they'll have to describe it.
What, him being a turtle?
Yes,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
turtle
yeah.
thing. Do you
Yeah.
think the history books will have memes in them
I mean,
in the
at this
future?
point, I think it's gonna be one big meme of just like
Why,
y'all,
why am
y'all
I assuming
cooked.
books? Why am I assuming
Yeah,
books? Crazy. Insane.
but we're not here to talk about Mitch or the failings of the Republican Party. We're here to talk about the triumphs of the necessary conversation, baby birding, and where it's gone from there. I cannot believe there's been like 5 or 6 or 7 episodes since
Yes, it's been a
Leaving
lot.
MAGA with Rich Logis.
What an episode.
I feel like we ultimately were like cringe, like too much, but I'll ask you, do you think that that had any impact now at this point?
I'm
Delayed
thinking
effects?
I'm thinking something had an impact, which I'm of course extraordinarily excited about. I have not an alternative theory, but perhaps a contributing factor. That's one of my clips today for our audience. And thanks for the engagement, guys.
Thank you.
Blowing up.
I think it
Uh,
shows there's a lot of people in a little pickles with either family
yeah,
or
that's right.
that are seeing some of these similar patterns.
That's exactly right.
I think we all are kind of growing and learning together.
Together.
You know what I mean? Which is why it's necessary. I think we have to kick this off with those sweet, sweet words we heard from Miss Mary Lou on July 15th that we all know and love.
No. ICE is totally out of control. They need to shut it down. It's ridiculous. They're killing people now. I see it. Now I do see it. They're
Wait a
killing
minute.
people they shouldn't kill. It needs to be
Holy
shut
shit.
down.
You're saying, correct me if I'm wrong here. You're saying abolish ICE?
Yes.
What the fuck? Are you kidding me right now?
I don't like people getting murdered that shouldn't be murdered. That's ridiculous. That's terrible. It's
Please
terrible.
say this. Please just on this camera right now say abolish ICE.
Abolish ICE.
Oh my God. I wish Haley was here. I'm getting chills.
I'm getting.
This
Get
is the
rid of
biggest
them.
step forward you have ever taken in the
Get
we've been doing
rid
the
of
show for 4 and whatever amount of years.
that
4
video
and
got to me.
change.
That lady
You're
was
not
good. Yeah.
You're saying abolish ICE.
Yes, I am. I talked to Dad about it today. He said,
What?
nah. I said, yes.
Wait, is Dad on the side of the ICE agents still?
Of course he is, yes.
Oh, and so how does he justify this?
I don't think he has seen that clip, but he knew about the one in Houston.
Holy crap. I can't believe this. I don't even know what to say.
It
You're
started
literally...
out, I talked about this last time. It started out where they were doing, I thought, good. Getting only the bad guys out of here.
Yeah.
Only the bad guys that shouldn't have been here, that have come and gone and done crimes, the criminals. I thought that those were the people that they were taking out of our country. But now look what they're doing.
So
this is not good for anyone. They need to stop.
Of course. But I mean, abolish ICE is like, that's a big step. That's not saying reform. That's not saying they need better training, defund them even. You're saying get rid of the entire agency. Get
rid of them.
Holy shit. What is the difference? What's the difference between like these two cases and Renee Good and Alex Preddy to you?
I just think they are murdering people now. Those weren't, I saw the clips on those. I'd like to see the clip on this last one, but they're not doing good anymore.
Breathe it in.
Gagged.
I have to admit, I was at a gas station when I was hearing this filling up, and I just started crying. Like, I don't, and it was, I know the reality of it, but it was like it's almost for Chad, he was so excited, and I just thought it was beautiful.
I agree with that 100%. You could tell he was genuinely like, I thought he might tear up a little bit.
Yeah.
When she said it, or he might have.
I think that was him crying. That was him,
Okay, my bad.
Well, no, like his.
I got you.
I cried. He's in shock. It's all very emotional.
Very emotional. He was very touched. I agree completely. I was also very impacted. I don't remember what I was doing, but I remember being like, oh my God. Not impacted that, I guess, enough to remember what I was doing. But.
Well, I was embarrassed because crying while filling up, you're trying to get gas.
Really sweet. I'm really leaning into crying in public lately. Like, if not like on purpose, but if it comes over me, I'm like, look, fuck, I'm sad. I'm crying. Like, I'm not bothering you.
Yeah, the only reason I wouldn't is I don't want somebody to ask.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Just a little tiny digression. In my experience, people actually ignore you when you're in public crying. So that's like kind of an even better reason to do it. People are like, I don't want to be involved in whatever is happening over there.
You're right.
Yes.
Especially, I would think men are like...
I was about... Okay.
Woman crying.
I was crying in a cafe here because I was thinking about Ripley and I was missing my dog. And so I was crying, like really crying, like tears like coming down my face. I'm a crier. And this guy, I could tell when I sat down, he was sitting like right here. And he kind of was like... And he did not talk to me. Fast forward, I had like stopped my hysterics, dried my face, fixed my makeup, and was like reading my book. And then, sure enough, here comes Mr. Guy. Hey there.
No.
Yes. And he asked, get this, he asked, are you from here, sir? Sir. What do you think, sir?
No mention of your previous state.
Nothing. No, and you
cleaned yourself up enough.
I cleaned myself, and he waited for enough time to go by where he didn't have to acknowledge it. So actually, if you want to keep a man away from you, like do your best to cry. That's my advice.
Cry.
That's my
all right.
Little gems.
Look, we should all really share with each other good ways to keep men away from us.
That's a great.
I didn't catch it on the first take of this because I was having my own emotional state to her just emphatically too.
And very emphatically is redundant, but yes.
I mean, she was sure. And I was like, wow, so she came to this on her own. And she'd already gone through the steps of deciding and talking to Bob about it.
Exactly.
The biggest obstacle she has to bear, I mean, her partner, she already went and,
That's huge. You're right.
told him how she felt. He didn't agree. They both seemingly moved forward. Beautiful.
My segue from that kind of conversation, because I feel like Mary Lou can kind of maybe seem a little flighty in some of her beliefs sometimes because, like, she hasn't done the reading. That's kind of has been a recurring theme. And this, like you said, she had like such conviction about. And I was impressed by this clip.
I say abolish ICE, but I want to say something. I still say abolish ICE. Then a couple of my MAGA friends send me stuff to remind me why I was for ICE. And then I think, oh my gosh, in Houston, the 13-year-old, Joycelyn Maugre, I think was her name. I'm sorry if I didn't say it correctly. And the 2 illegal Venezuelan men that tied her hands together, her under the bridge, and then threw her away. That's the people I want ICE to get out of here.
But that's not who they're getting out.
That's right. That's what I'm trying to say. So in the beginning, I thought that's what ICE was. I wanted the drug cartel out. I wanted the drug people out. I wanted people like that were harming people out. But now that's not happening.
Yeah. And I'm telling you, because you've been through now the medical system in America with all this shit with Dad, you've seen these 2 murders now, which we're going to talk about in the first subject. You're saying abolish ICE. These are 2, I assume, important issues to you.
Yes, they are.
No Republican.
Okay, this is why I really love that clip, is that, and that I actually think there's so many things happening there, right? Because what we know from that clip is that MAGA people reached out to her. MAGA friends reached out to her, seemingly tried to convince her to come back and denounce her statement about abolishing ICE. And don't you remember this, for example, one horrendous sexual assault, which somehow should... Okay, so that's like one whole thing that I wanted to kind of pin, because first of all, I wanted to ask you, because I don't want to be unfair about this, and so I want to gut check myself. Like, if one of our friends went on to a public platform and said, I love ICE, would we reach out and say, what the fuck are you talking about? I love you. Like, this is who you are and this is what you believe. Why are you saying this is inconsistent with your values, respectfully?
Yes, I would, and I don't think I'd even have a problem with it.
No, I think I would too.
I'd be like, hey, what's going on? Are you under distress?
Right.
Are you being held hostage? Yeah.
Yeah. So that, because at first I was like, ugh, but then I'm like, wait a minute,
You're saying in defense of what they're doing, that's at the same, yes.
Well, I mean, and certainly the content, and maybe you can't separate it out, because the content of what they're saying is not only, I mean, maybe some of it is factually accurate, but it is an incoherent and inconsistent argument that is girded with hate and racism and fascism and all these things.
I see. You're okay. Never mind. You were comparing her friends to us,
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
Well, because I'm assuming.
I don't think it's wrong what they did. I think that's expected.
Right.
I think what I found significant is that it doesn't matter what they were necessarily sharing.
Right.
What I heard was my MAGA friends that I am attached to, that I have this identity with, reached out to let me know that they're there and that our side is still correct and she should stay. And which to me, I think that's the second part of this. Chad talks in his live about the loss of identity. But I think, and Mary Lou might not necessarily be getting this, but if you're in a big church community you're not only losing that community,
right.
they are going to ostracize
They're
you.
going to shun you. That's
Shun
a
you.
difference.
And
That is a difference, and that is maybe you're exactly right. That's the difference. Because even if one of our friends, well, I don't know, would we shun them?
If they're harming people, if what their support is doing is
But
harming,
we'd give them a way back. We would always give them a way
yeah,
back.
yeah,
We would always give them a way back. I think
yeah.
that might be a difference too. Is that
We'd
it's
hear them
very-
out too,
Right, we would hear them out.
and
Yeah, I would hear what they had to say.
well, and then so I think there's like malicious, like there's actual shunning, and then smearing, and then like
Right.
destroying. There's levels, and that's very
Destroying.
like cultish.
That's true.
And then I think there's degrees. So it gets. Then I heard this
Boundaries.
guy talk about. He was like, I lost my wife and my job and my church, and I was like, that's a lot, but
Damn.
I think it goes down to then Mary Lou would lose this MAGA circle of friends, and you're not giving her any alternative. Not necessarily, though. There was an alternative, which I'll show the next video, because I think another guest really showed that there is an off ramp. You know, you can still, and maybe she can still have her MAGA friends. I'm sure they're at one point, they're gonna, I mean, the America First trained people are hopping onto it
Yeah.
left and right.
What about you, Mary? Where do you find yourself politically?
Of course, I feel like I'm a Republican. I
Okay.
guess they told me I'm MAGA, even though I
Okay.
think I'm more just a Republican. But they're going, no, you're MAGA, you're MAGA.
You wear Trump hats regularly.
Well,
Yeah. Well, yeah.
this, Mary, I think this is important because as a conservative, this is the first question I want to ask you. Do you consider yourself a Republican or a conservative? Because MAGA is not conservative. There's nothing
Right.
conservative about MAGA. I'm sure you guys have talked about this before on your guys' show. Do you consider yourself a MAGA Republican or a conservative?
Wow.
Because
I
these are
don't
different.
know.
These are different things now,
Yeah.
right?
I know. I would say Republican, I guess.
Okay. So you're less
mean, when I
concerned with the
vote-
actual
when I-
conservative ideologies. And
Yeah, when I vote. Uh-huh.
what I mean by this is if we think about some issues, the Iran war, the economy, domestic spending, foreign spending, MAGA is not conservative, right? Spending hundreds of billions of dollars on the Iran war
Right.
that we shouldn't, in my opinion, spending $100 billion on ICE domestically. These are all things, adding $2 trillion to the budget, and Trump has, right? None of these things are conservative values, but do you
Right.
still support these things that I mentioned?
Some of them, no, I do not. So
Okay,
that
cool.
means, yeah. I
We're
see
going
a
to
lot
get
of
into each one of
extras.
those. We're going to get into each one of those.
I mean, we talk about this on our show all the time that, there are these kind of mounting lists of things you disagree with in terms of what Trump is doing policy wise and all the executive orders, blah, 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 and the effects that it's having on the economy and the average American. You disagree with a lot of them, but you're never willing to say that you won't support Trump. That is MAGA.
Yes.
Not yet. I'm
Okay,
not
that's what
yet.
I'm saying. It's like you can't. That's
Okay.
not just like a regular Republican. You're literally saying that you disagree with most of what he's doing now, but you
Right.
still support him. That's MAGA.
Yes.
Okay, maybe I am for right now. I did hear I did hear something today on the news. I'm like, what?
She goes off into nonsense.
Yes, I can.
Deflecting. But
Wow, what an incredible line of questioning from that gentleman.
he was mesmerizing to me because he was just very skilled. And it was just a difference watching. I don't know, him and Rich were both. Actually, Rich was more of a Trump supporter than he was. He kept hammering in on the conservative thing and being in the military. But my
He was in the
whole-
military?
Yeah, it's a Green Beret.
I was being sarcastic.
Okay, yes. Did he hammer home? a lot of those things, a lot of times throughout, yes, but I think that was like for
Yeah.
Mary Lou more so,
Yes.
you know,
Of course. Of
where
course.
Rich was saying things to me that were like hitting me, you know, I feel like I don't know.
The guy knows his
different
audience.
minds, different thought
It
processes.
takes all kinds.
It takes all kinds, and she respects the military being.
Military.
He does give her, he keeps welcoming her in another clip to like, come join us. There are people, and there really are.
I think my parents are at that. I don't think my parents are MAGA at this point. Not anymore. Or my mom. I don't think my dad ever was.
I can't imagine your dad
No.
being.
No. He was never MAGA.
That brings it up a good point, because this is my thesis for where we are with Mary Lou. It's exactly in the Abolish ICE clip. She's gonna piecemeal it, denying. So all of a sudden, there's not gonna be anything that she supports of Trump, but she won't denounce it because Trump is her daddy. He's her father figure. When that clicked to me, everything I watch now, whenever she says, he's still my president, or when she says, not yet, it is essentially she's being told, like, she knows her piece of shit dad is doing this terrible shit, but he's her daddy.
Yeah.
And
Damn,
you
that breaks my heart.
And you're close to your dad. Wouldn't you kind of defend the same way?
Oh,
Like,
I would curdle for that man, even if he was saying some dumb shit.
look how
Yeah.
the tables are turned. But I think once you think about it, it's not like a political thing. This is a loyalty.
Yeah.
This is like family loyalty. Not to mention the humiliation
I was about to say that.
of her
Like,
kids warning
she's-
her.
That, yes, I'm sorry. That's true. And also, like, she's gone this far.
Sunken cost, baby.
Exactly. And, like, the humiliation of admitting you were wrong.
The shame.
That's why I really don't like it when people are like, fuck you forever. You know, you're like, if you voted for him, there's no path for redemption. There's no path for forgiveness. I mean, that would require accountability, right? But like,
Right.
what are we really doing here? Do we want them to, like, what, you know, like, if we could convert people to the side of righteousness, why wouldn't we do it? You know what I mean? Like, we're more powerful together. Like, we need more people to wake up to the realities of class struggle.
I have a counter to that.
All right, let me hear it. Lay it on me.
I mean, look at us, Amy. We're reacting
It's us.
to this video of two bright-minded leftists spending their time trying to just convince this one, when we could have, I mean, are we wasting our time when we could be the Mandamis and going out and actually doing
Okay.
shit?
Okay, so I hear you, and I want to make a distinction because I agree with you. I'm not talking about spending your time converting them. I'm talking about providing them with space if and when they take their own fucking time, because they're adults and they're accountable to their own fucking selves and to us. If they do the work and then they come back and they're like, oh, shit, I really...
Right.
Then I don't want to say, fuck you forever. I want to say, okay, well, you know, how are we going to... Let's talk about it.
I mean, I'm sure there are, I guess I see it online, people that are like, you know, there's no redemption. Sure.
That's what I mean.
But also, are they just realistic?
And
like-
maybe they're bots too, though. Maybe they're bots. I can't trust any comments anymore. Are they trying to change my mind about this? You know what I mean?
The bots are communicating and having conversations with each other.
That's
like,
crazy.
It is, I watched this short video on Twitter, and for whatever, it wasn't even, I think it was a clip from like a movie. And I looked at the comments for whatever reason. This person said, this entire conversation is just bots talking to each other. What the fuck is going on? Maybe they're just unleashed and now just doing their own thing and just like chatting it up on clips of movies. And we've just unleashed this beast. But that
Like,
probably
how
is happening.
horrifying is that? Like,
Well, it's our future. We gotta keep it bright. Keep it bright.
keep it bright.
Keep it light, bitch.
Take it easy, Frank.
Don't tell me how to drive, you bitch.
If you're familiar with that term, this is like all foam.
Here you goddamn bitch!
Hey, no, this thing's bouncing around like a pinball. Don't blame me.
Keep it light, you bitch.
Also, with Mary Lou, I don't want to totally drag her because, God, I was in such a downer after all this when I was like, they are putting in this work. They are doing all of this just to get her to, I mean, I think they've already accomplished it. The most
like,
they're going to get.
So much. They've accomplished a lot.
She just doesn't know where she's going to land, right?
Yeah.
She just doesn't know, like, how to do this all and doesn't want to admit to her kids. Like, everything she's come to light with, for instance, finding or having the story with the immigrant at the hospital. This goes back to how I just felt for Chad and Haley and all other adult children of emotionally immature parents that sit through trying to explain to their parents things over and over, only to be told back to their face exactly what they were saying and just have to listen through to it.
Mom, thank you so much for doing this.
And then some hospital today. I can't believe I did this. I just started interviewing a person. Okay.
What?
This lady was in Dad's room helping your father. I said, "Oh, hello. How long have you been doing this?" She was an aide. She said, 1 year. I said, "Oh, what country are you from?" She said, "China." I said, "Oh." I said, "Are you a U.S. citizen?" She said, "No, ma'am." She said, "I have a green card." I said, "Oh, that's good." She said, "Yes." She said, "I had to get a student visa first, which was 2 or 3 years. Then the green card was for 5 or 7 years." She said, "During that time, I couldn't even apply for U.S. citizenship yet." She said, "And each one of those times when I had to renew was so much money, like $350, $750, up to $1,000 something." She goes, "Now I'm here and I want my degree and I want my college, and I have to go in all the time and tell them where I am, what I'm doing, blah, blah, blah." She said, "It will take me maybe 6 more years for citizenship."
Right. We've been trying to explain that to you
I know.
through the entire course of the show, but now
I
because
got it right out of somebody's mouth right there in the hospital.
which generally is what is required, I think, to get you to kind of change your mind or see the other side of any of
Yes.
these conversations we're having, is to meet somebody in that
Yes.
position or who represents whatever the issue is we may be discussing. So does that change your mind at all?
Yes, it did. And then something happened to me at the hospital.
In defense of Mary Lou, it's so interesting. It's so interesting because when I watched it, I didn't think about, I didn't focus on that at all. I didn't. And now.
Oh, I couldn't. I thought she was about to cut out and be like, I'm just kidding. This is so obviously offensive.
Oh my God, that's so interesting. Because the first time I watched it, I didn't even notice him kind of saying that. I wasn't even paying attention to that. I was so excited and I was so proud. And I think they should be proud too, because what they were saying didn't have no effect. It in fact had a huge effect. It got her to be curious enough about another person's experience that she initiated a conversation to understand what it was like for this person instead of assuming that she already knew. And I think that's crazy growth. And I think that Chad and Haley should be extremely proud because her asking questions, being curious, like they are a direct line to that. And I would say learning the skill, building the muscle, exercising the muscle of curiosity and critical thinking is more important than changing someone's mind on one particular issue.
This is where I have to insert my disclaimer that I've had little to no success of any baby birding in my life with my family. So, like, I bow down because you're exactly right. I took that so personally, like, God damn it, Mom.
Right, but your feelings are valid too, because she did do that. She did do that. Like,
right,
but all these things can be true at the same time. You know
the
what I mean?
growth would be realizing, of course she's going to do this. Of course she's going to do this for every subject. And I think at some level, like, Chad knows everything. Chad knows exactly, and I will prove that. He knows everything. I think this proves this struggle of I can know logically that all of this is not fair, and then I can still get frustrated. And he can know, and he can still push and push and push. When, you know what it reminds me of? Like when a guy is going to propose and he's, being a little shit about it, and a woman is like, can we get this on the road? And every time it's like it pushes him back even farther because it has to be like his moment,
Yes, which is so eye roll.
Every time she's literally says, quit pushing me, she says in one of these, quit pushing me, it pushes me even farther when you do that.
Yeah.
Can't be more clear.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. That's a great analogy because it's very juvenile. I completely agree.
We are dealing with a juvenile.
All the boomers are. Not my dad. Oh my God. Can I give a little funny moment?
Please.
So when I was looking up clips for this fabulous episode, I found this thing that said Saturday Night Live. And I was like, Saturday Night Live did a sketch about the necessary conversation. Like, how have we not talked about it? And it was just him doing a live on Saturday night.
But it wasn't even, and we'll have to fact check this because the lives are on Sunday nights only.
Maybe it was Sunday Night Live.
It's holding Mary Lou back from admitting she's not Maja at this point. I mean, imagine, like, think of anything in your own life that has kind of defined your entire identity for the past 10 years, whatever that may be. Marriage, parenthood, your job, your political ideology, your religious ideology, any of these things. Even, let's say, even like take something like if you're a fan of a sports team or a TV show or anything like that, some kind of like extreme fandom of a thing. Take any of those things that have been in place for you on a daily basis for 10 years and now reverse it. You can't just do it instantaneously like that. Even once you start to realize like, shit, I'm getting a little distant from this, there's still a thread. I have this actually. This right here is
and then he explains it even further.
I don't understand Mary Lou saying, just give me time. I'm telling you, it's that thing that I was talking about earlier. Like, that part of her, it's like, it's her. It's a part of her that she has to let go. This isn't just about being like, oh, I see, Trump is a fucking piece of shit. Therefore, I denounce everything that I ever said about him. This is like, she has to let a piece of her own self go. Just give me time. That in some way, metaphorically or psychologically, is akin to a death. She is becoming a different person. And when you tie it all into like that person, that MAGA version of Mary Lou, what else is tied to that? Everything in the past 10 years of her life, including her relationship with my dad, her relationship with me, my sister, what it has been. It, like, to come out and say, I denounce Trump, or however she's going to say it when she says it, it means that she has to allow that version of herself to die on some level. And that's a fucking heavy thing to do. It is not like, she's close. I mean, we can all tell it. I just think that it's like, she needs more time. Just give me time. That's sometimes all it is, you know? A lot of this podcast was about that very early on, about the idea that obviously we weren't going to change anybody's mind overnight or with like one thing where we're like, well, he said this, but he lied. See? Oh, now you denounce Trump. I knew that was never going to happen. It's taken us 4.5 years roughly to get to where we are now, where she's saying abolish ICE. That is the biggest step forward I've ever seen from her. She's also saying she wants universal health care. Another giant leap. So she needs a little more time to get to the main meat of it, you know? She's denouncing this and that, these things that are all around the main target. She will get there. She just needs time. That's literally what it means.
I mean, oh shit, what the fuck?
This is what I was going to end on, too.
Okay, I'll put it, because I'm like, what? That's hateful. Yeah. Okay. Respect. I mean, I always knew he was like a smart person, but seemingly extremely insightful and thoughtful and, all the other things. I am interested in why he pushes the way he does, knowing these things so well and being especially able to articulate them so well, but maybe that's where
Keep
where the
going, keep going.
is that where the emotion of it being his mother comes into play? Like, what's happening?
Maybe.
What do you think?
Okay, what is the premise of the podcast?
So that's an interesting question, because I had assumed that it was just like a place to talk about different, but it's turned into like every episode is more now like very focused on turning Mary Lou out of MAGA, getting her out of MAGA.
It was two-part, I guess. The original intention, which you so eloquently in our three-part series laid out, that it was to establish a relationship again because they had lost touch because of Mary Lou and Bob, because of politics, and Chad and Haley weren't okay with that. But that's a very family and a very kind of boring entertainment-wise. Like, the premise of the show was them debating each other every week and trying to pull them out of the MAGA bubble. And I think that they're at a little bit of a crossroads right now, because in my mind, she's already turned. She's just figuring out how to do it publicly. So there's no debating on the pod. It is
Interesting.
It's kind of like a lefty, like, dopamine hit entertainment, because she's trapped. She's trapped as Trump's lawyer, defender of all this atrocious shit he's doing, and she's even like, I don't want to like defend all this stuff anymore.
Right. I don't want to be that person anymore.
No, so on a weekly basis, we just get to watch this like MAGA in the wild still have to defend this. I think it's humiliating. That's not how the show started, the intention at all. That's just how it ended up, because that's reality, sweetie.
Oh, that's interesting.
And I don't think it's impossible to think there will come a time in the near future where Bob really needs more of her attention and things are getting really busy and there's just not enough time for the podcast anymore. That's a possibility.
I see. So you mean like that's how they would...
if she can't take it anymore, because now like she has to defend this every week. I wouldn't want to do that, especially when she doesn't feel it anymore. Like, she's struggling with that. We know now that Chad knows what he's doing by pushing her and like trying to get her isn't working, but that works for content in the podcast, because that's the only friction.
You think he's doing it just for content?
Well, I am only questioning that because the pieces are there. I don't want to put them together.
Isn't there also a real, genuine arc that happens that isn't, faked, that we're on right now, that ends with Mary Lou saying, I don't support him anymore. And then they have to change it into something else because there is community for her with those opinions. I mean, Bob's not going anywhere. Bob's not gonna, Bob can't live without her, probably. I mean, I hate to be...
Right. Yeah, he's
he's not
vulnerable.
going to leave her, I don't think. So he probably very much loves her. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to... I just mean, like at the end of the day...
That threat is not there.
Correct. That's what I mean. Certainly it could change their relationship. But I guess my point is, I agree with him. I think that it is like a death. But I also think there's life after death, because...
There is.
We've done this kind of a transformation in our past, haven't we? Like, maybe not as extreme as MAGA, but I certainly grew up Republican, and pretty, like, indoctrinated. It might be one word, but I don't mean it specifically as, like, an intentional thing by my parents. It was more like every aspect of the community that I grew up in was preaching the same thing, whether it was in church, whether it was in school with weird textbooks that weren't really telling us everything. That was an identity that I had to let die, and it was very painful. It was a really horrible thing that kind of estranged me from my family a little bit. I mean, there's been some repair there, but like, she can do it.
Okay, I'll ask you then, at that time, did you have a replacement community already in the works, or where were
I
you
will
in your
say
life?
this. I did, but if I'm honest, that didn't, like, my family was such the ultimate tether of my identity was my family. And so being ostracized from that group was devastating. I built a family, I mean, and I'm still, obviously, I'm not estranged from my family. And also, I built a community of which you of course are a part that makes me feel more grounded and more confident than ever, but like it still was like it was a pain point. But do you think she doesn't have like
I,
in-person community?
I think us saying like you can do it just
Right.
underscores how hard it is,
Uh-huh.
and
It's
that
very hard.
is
It's
the
very hard.
kind of the missing piece too. And like her age, I mean,
That's true.
it's not like it's easy to go out,
No,
and
that's very true.
it's so much easier to go back to what you've been doing.
Yeah.
It's like, Trump is daddy, Newsmax is your home, and your MAGA people are your social life.
Yeah.
And like you've got it all, and now you've got to reestablish all of those. And I think she's just doing it piecemeal, like each incident, because she can't. And I really actually do empathize with that, because
Mary Lou.
family, they obviously are part of the problem too, because it's the whole system. So she just can't get there, because that's everything.
It's feeling untethered from like the thing that is tethering you is. It's like, okay, might be stupid, a stupid analogy, but did you ever see that movie Gravity with Sandra Bullock?
Yeah.
It's like one of the most terrifying movies I've ever seen. I feel like
Anything in space.
yeah, well, yes, and especially like being like floating off into fucking space. Like I think it's like innately terrifying as a human, right? It's not dissimilar to feeling grounded spiritually, mentally. There's something holding you down. There's something. When that thing is cut off, like floating off into nothing feels terrifying. And also to acknowledge, there might be, I mean, I'm sure there are people who maybe don't even ever have something that they feel like they're tethered to, I mean, and I can't imagine how traumatizing that,
Or you don't know until it's gone.
Oh shit.
Or like her difference of opinions on Israel and how that evolved. That felt like not like a death.
Wait, we don't.
I'm sorry. Both of our similar
I was like,
evolving.
I don't think we're in disagreement about Israel. I
That
think
would
we
make
have
this
same
the most incredible podcast of all time, where two people in modern day have completely conflicting opinions on Israel, and they just don't bring it up
and
ever.
we just don't ever talk about it.
I'm sure there's
And like, who
relationships
would be
exist.
which one would be which?
Well, I know where I'm sitting.
I drops in too.
And